right, we are back, and right now we have Bill Daye on the horn, so let's pick him up. How you doing?
Doing well, John. How are you?
Good, yeah, thanks for calling in.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, everybody, this is Bill Daye. He played in Major League Lacrosse from the first season, right? And you started playing there, and then you went on to be head coach of the Cannons.
Yep, that's started the inaugural season of Major League Lacrosse 2001, and with the Boston Cannons. Played in 2002 with the Boston Cannons as well before my career was cut short with an injury, and then came back and as an assistant coach under Scott Hiller in 2005, and then took over in 2006 as the head coach.
Yeah, and where did you play in college?
I played at North Carolina.
Okay.
Tar Heel, and graduated in 1993. Was very fortunate to play in 4 Final Fours and 2 national championship games, and took home the championship my sophomore year, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. How was that playing at that high of level for your collegiate experience?
It was pretty cool. Whenever you're able to go out and compete at that high level, and and it was cool. When we played Syracuse and the Hopkins of the world, Maryland, Virginia, and it was always a very competitive game each week. So it was definitely something I'll never forget.
Yeah, and you play, in my eyes, the position that takes the most guts and bravery there is goalie. How was that facing such high-powered shots in the MLL those seasons that you played?
That's a great question. I don't know what got me started playing goal, but it's just something that I just loved. I don't know if it was just having all the pressure on me, or just being able to change the outcome of a game. I don't know why I got started, but playing in MLL was great. I was one of the top goalies when I played, so I enjoyed going out and trying to give it my best, and like every other lacrosse player and athlete does, go out and compete.
Yeah. And so after you suffered the injury that ended your playing career in the MLL, how did you transition into being a coach in the MLL?
In 2005, I was just actually in 2004. I attempted a comeback, and I tore my Achilles training, so that was cut short. And Scott Hiller, who was the coach at the time, just wanted to keep in touch. And the following year, he approached me and said that the defensive end of the field was an area that they needed a little help with, and needed to get stronger, and asked if I wanted the opportunity to come on board and run the defense. So I jumped on it. It was an opportunity to get back involved with the league, with the Boston Cannons organization, which had been so great to me. So I took it, and the rest is history. Yeah.
And do you have any advice to young players out there about continuing what they love to do and pursuing their dreams of playing at the highest level for their sports?
Yeah, whenever I speak at a clinic or at a camp, my message is pretty straightforward. Lacrosse is one of the few sports where, granted, you have guys who are just born with those skills, but the majority of the guys are athletes, and you're going to be as good as you want to be, meaning that the more work you put into it, the better you can be. I mean, I've seen guys who basically live 24/7 with their stick, and next thing you know, they have they have a great stick. The more time you spend on the wall, the more time you spend outside with the bucket of ball shooting, both hands, lefty, righty, working on your game, you're going to get better. I mean, that's something that it's proven in this game that you go out and practice and you have that stick in your hand and you're working on it. There's no doubt you're going to get better. So you get out what you put into it. So my advice would just be work, go out and work, and it's one of the few games too where you don't need a buddy or you don't need a parent to come out and have a catch with you. You can go to the wall, you can get on a lax wall and get those reps in. You can take a bucket of balls, go out and shoot. Probably my other piece of advice would be, especially when you're out there shooting, try to emulate game speed. It's not like you're just gonna pick up a ball and jog to the goal and take a shot. That's not what you do in a game. When you dodge hard. When you practice shooting on the run and stuff like that, make sure you're going full speed. You want to emulate everything you do in that time as if it's a game situation.
Yeah. And you also run Bill Daye's Lacrosse School. That's your company, right?
Yes.
Is that the correct name?
Yep, Lacrosse School. It's we're a one-click source for lacrosse. It's a partner of mine, Bill Millman, who spent 20 years in the music industry, but he's also an avid lacrosse player. Played at Cortland State and just loves the sport, and myself. So we try to we try to take everything that encompasses the sport of lacrosse, put it in video format and then get it out to the mass public.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of how I connected with you over Facebook. I remember it was originally through your Facebook page for the Lacrosse School, and that was like 2 years ago or something. I was trying to get my story out there, and you responded really quickly, and it was thanks for responding so quickly. Yeah,
I mean, like all of us, it's a great sport. It really is, and anything we can all do to help it grow and just continue to grow. I think we all feel the same way about that.
Yeah, and also I want to talk about your last season with the Boston Cannons was when you guys took home the championship, and you also got Coach of the Year that year in the MLL. Can you reflect on that experience?
Yeah, that was something that'll always, remain with me as a great experience. There's no doubt about it. As a lot of people know, Major League Lacrosse, even though it's our professional sport, it's really a part-time thing for the coaches, for the players, and it's mainly, we do it because we just love the sport so much. We love to compete, and we want to win. So, that team that we had in 2011 was just a great group of guys who really bought into what we were trying to get them to buy into. And
yeah.
Everyone was committed. We had a great regular season, but captured the number one seed going into the playoffs, which really means nothing. It's all about showing up on that weekend and playing your best lacrosse for 2 days straight, to have a chance to bring it home. So it was definitely something special. It was the Boston Cannons' first MLL championship since they were one of the original 6 teams in the league back in 2001. Yeah. So being able to bring it home to the city of Boston, the fans of Boston, and the ownership group that has given so much, to the players and me and my staff was just really, really something special.
Yeah. And congrats on that. And it was impressive to watch that whole season unfold. And you guys did have a very talented roster. One of my friends, Chris Eck, who's still on the Canada, he's your face-off guy. What do you know Chris Eck very well from coaching him. Do you have any thoughts on how he's evolved his game?
Yeah, Chris is by far, I feel he's the best face-off man in Major League Lacrosse. I mean, when we drafted him out of Colgate, as a rookie, we had a few guys on the roster, and we gave him a shot that last game of the season because we had missed the playoffs. We were playing Denver, and I believe they had Jeff Snyder at the time, and we just we threw him in the lineup as a rookie, and he dominated Snyder that night, got us the win. So we finished off the season with a nice win, and then from there he's been the guy.
Yeah,
he's just a hard worker, and he's very good at what he does.
Yeah, and that position is another one of those positions that it just everybody just comes up with new moves, and they work on them so hard that it's like you always have to be on top of your game. If you're not working hard, you're going to get passed by. So he definitely works so hard at his craft, and it's been impressive to see.
No doubt. I mean, like you said, it's all about the hard work in the weight room and the conditioning, but it's also very similar to playing goalie. It's a mental position as well. You got to be mentally tough out there, and that was something that he was able to do a good job with.
Yeah, and also, how did you were you able to see any of the duel in Denver that was a few weeks ago? It was Canada versus Team USA.
I did catch. I caught about 2.5, 3 quarters of that game. Yep.
Yeah, and how did you feel it went, and what do you think that means anything as of now for the 2014 World Games, or is it too far in the future?
Honestly, I was impressed with Team Canada. You can see that they've come a long way when it comes to having more field players. So that was what really impressed me, that they had some youth out there who were very good at the field game, having played college, and then you combine that with some of the Canadian players who have just been dominant, like John Grant and Matthews, those guys like that. But at the same time, I feel that while that may be Canada's team, and that may be the team they're going with, and they're going to just try to gel over the next few years, I don't think that's the U.S. team you're going to see. I think you'll see some changes here and there, and you'll see some different personnel, and we have a process that we go through to get that down to that final squad that'll be representing the U.S. But hey, I think it showed a lot of people that Canada has always been a very good team, but now they've got some youth, they got some speed, they're pushing the transition, and they're playing the game like it should. It's meant to be played. So it's definitely going to be a great event when it gets here. Yeah, I'm going to be trying out for Team Israel over in Israel this summer, next July, 2013. So I know that's it's the first time I'm going to be in the FIL. I don't know how the game's looking, but it'll be fun to just be a part of that tournament if I make the team. That's awesome. Good. Best of luck with that.
Yeah, thank you. And also I wanted to talk about the growth of the game across the world, and how do you see the growth so far across the world, and how do you see it in the future? What would you think is the major thing that needs to happen to even get our game that much further in terms of growing?
Well, I think we're definitely going in the right direction. When you look at the number of teams that played in the last World Games, and I'm hearing there are going to be more countries participating out in Denver. So the sport is definitely being played a lot more in these different countries, and we're definitely going in the right direction. Personally, I would love to see it get to the point. It may not be it may be probably 8 years from now. I don't think it'll be 4, but maybe there's a chance where lacrosse will become an Olympic sport. And I think if it ever gets to that point, then I think it's it's definitely that'll be where we need to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree too, and I don't know how much further down the road that is, but it's definitely ways down the road. But I mean, I definitely would love to see the lacrosse back in the Olympics, and as you said, and it would be great for our sport. And also I want to also talk about this past MLL season. How was it not being involved as a coach? And this year it was your first season in many years as a fan. This is a fan, right, for MLL?
Yeah, when the training camp part came around, it hit me a little bit because I was so used to prepping for that and getting going in April. But then as the season went along, honestly, I was paying attention to what Boston was doing, but it's been the first time in 7 years that I've been able to really truly enjoy my summer with my family. So it was pretty cool to be able to to do that. I will say though, when championship week came around, that really, I felt that, because that's pretty much what you worked so hard for. Throughout the whole summer. Beginning with training camp was to get to that point and be one of those 4 teams that are competing for it. So, that was a tough week. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Do you have any plans? Probably not any plans in the near future. But do you have any long-term goals of maybe returning as a coach to the MLL or another club or another team?
I definitely want to keep that door open. It's definitely something I enjoyed. I think I had a good rapport with the players. It's something that I can definitely foresee myself getting back to. I just don't know what the time frame is. Whether it's the end. And whether it's as a coach or maybe it's a general manager or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a time frame, but I could definitely foresee myself in the future, trying to get back involved. Yeah,
I'd love to see that happen sometime in the future. Definitely, I mean, I think you've proven that you're a big help to any organization, and so if you do choose to make that step again, go back in there, best of luck, and I'll definitely enjoy it, as a fan, seeing that happen.
Thank you.
Yeah, and now you your hometown, where do you live? You're like in Maryland. Is that where you live, or?
I'm in Massachusetts, actually.
Massachusetts. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I've been in Massachusetts now for 15 years. I was originally born and raised in New York, on Long Island.
Yeah. And how is the lacrosse scene? How is the lacrosse scene up where you live?
You know, it's when I first moved up here, you know, it really wasn't being played at a high level, but now, you know, I mean, it's amazing how many more programs there are, both at the high school level, boys and girls, and so, you know, it's definitely grown, and it's been great to, you know, be a part of that growth.
Yeah, and that's you know, kind of like in California out here, it's been great to see how much the game's grown, and to the point where it is now, and there's all these kids, first graders, as low as first grade, and some even before that, that have older siblings that play lacrosse that are getting into the sport. And I mean, I only wish it was brought out to my area when I was that young, but I had to wait till 8th grade though.
Well, it's funny. I didn't start playing until I was in 8th grade.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So same. Yeah, both of us. And how did you get involved in it at first? Like, was there like a clinic at your school, or?
Actually, I was very intrigued. I went out to watch a practice at our JV, and a good friend of mine who I had played Little League baseball with was playing on our junior varsity team, and he just sort of edged me to come try out and give it a shot, and just kept pushing me, and I finally did, and that was it.
Yeah.
Fell in love with the sport.
Yeah, and it's I'm sure you agree. It's been such a blessing that to be involved with the sport, and you look at where it's gotten you. I mean, you've been able to take it to the highest level, and that's just very cool to watch, and it's very inspiring. I'm sure to all the young listeners out there that have aspirations of playing at the professional level or coaching at high levels such as NOL. And before we end here, I just want to ask if you could give any last tip of the day. I know you gave some a little bit earlier, but just like one last tip of the day, kind of just the biggest tip in pursuing what anybody's aspirations are.
You know, I guess I would probably just have to say, you know, based on what I said earlier about just getting your stick in your hand, it's just, you know, always believe you can do it. You know, never let anyone tell you can't, and you know, always stay positive, and most importantly, have fun with the game, because it is a game, and we can't lose track of that. You know, as competitive as we want to be, and we want to get out there and win, it is a game, so make sure you have fun. Yeah,
thank you for that, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the show, and we'll be in touch soon, I'm sure, and keep doing what you're doing, and also keep doing what you're doing with your family. I'm sure you're having a great time being able to spend all this family time that you've been able to.
Thank you very much, and thanks again for having me, and we'll definitely stay in touch, all right?
All right, talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Bill Daye, and earlier we had Gary Gate on as guest. I want to thank both of my guests today from the Lacrosse Broadcast Network. We'd like to give a big thanks to all our sponsors as well, Eastern Lacrosse, Wicked Six Sports, SportsGroup.com, Rocket Pocket, and Blackfeet Lacrosse, also their new sponsor on the network. So, without any further ado, I just want to say thanks for joining me today. This is Jonny Vegas reminding all of you to grow your game, and to grow, you got to play. Happy lacrossing, everybody. Until next time.